Hi everyone. Today I am going to share with you the differences between a powder eyeshadow palette and a one and done creamy eyeshadow. I am currently obsessed with cream eyeshadows and I have purchased many, and I wanted to make this video comparing different creamy eyeshadows, and it just turned out to be that there's so much information and so many different formulations and colors and textures that I thought it would be overwhelming to share all that information at once. It will be much more enjoyable, I hope, both for me and for you, to see little bits of it together so that the points are driven home in a way that you can hopefully make your judgment just by looking at 2 or 4 different eyeshadows at once instead of 20. I wanted to share the whole experience of applying each one of them, and I wanted you to see what the final look was, or the intermediary look, or how you can change that look into something different. So today I chose 2 high-end products to share with you: the Chanel Le Quatre Ombre in Tisse Vendome and Charlotte Tilbury Oyster Pearl. Beautiful products, each one with their own merits, but because I'm so obsessed by creamy eyeshadows, I will make a series of videos with the creamy eyeshadows. Today I will be using 2 very similar colors and shades, so I hope you stick around to the end and see the final product with both eyeshadows. What I wanted to do is compare exactly why creamy and powdery eyeshadows are so different in their application and the way they look. I want to show you guys the difference between the 2 consistencies. So these are both high-end, so there should be fantastic wear on both of them. I can tell you I love the texture of both, but I'm especially in love with the texture of the Charlotte Tilbury. This color particularly is Oyster Pearl. It is a sophisticated color. It's shimmery with a base that is almost brown and taupe. I really like it. So I am going to compare it against the shadow from Chanel Le Quatre Ombre. The set color is Tisse Vendome, and I find that the 2 colors that look closest would be this one right here, and they look about the same. So it is a way for me to show you how 2 shadows that look very similar on their containers are so different just because of the consistency and how they are applied. So if you look at the Tisse Vendome, it will be the color that is lightest of the 2 taupe brown colors. So let's start with the traditional powder application. The idea that I wanted to give you is of how to use a shadow in a one and done situation. That means use one shadow all over the eyelid. Let's see what we come up with. So starting with Chanel, if I am to apply a powdery shadow as just one shadow all over the eye, you will get a specific look, and it might not be the most flattering look, but I want you to see the difference so that you can play with it at home with your own and make a decision whether or not creamy eyeshadows are the ones for you. I personally am in love with them. So I'm just going to use a regular brush. The pigmentation on the Chanel shadows is much softer than what is currently in the market, and I think it's because they try to go with a more sophisticated look. But I find myself, because of my deep medium tone skin color, that I have to use more of their product than of a similar product from a different brand. Let's apply the eyeshadow all over the eye. For the one and done, what I usually like to do is try to build up the eyeshadow into different layers so that it's heavier down here and lighter up on top. So I'll start right here. Because of my hooded eye, I like to pull the color all the way to the heavy part of my lid, which is above the fold. Again, we're doing a one and done look, and we'll compare this. Traditionally, you want the eyelid to have shading that's not just a one big brown brush of color. So in order to make this eye more elegant, I really would have to add depth and lightness. So by going darker here and lighter here. And I'll try later, but at first I want to show you so we can compare it with the Charlotte Tilbury. So we'll do the same to the other eye. I will apply a little bit of that eyeshadow down on the rim of the outer edge of my eye, just to give it a more finished look. Again, because this is Chanel, the pigmentation is softer, there won't be a harsh line down here. It will require less blending. So here is the taupe color done once and done. There is very little dimension when you use just the powder eyeshadow. We'll go ahead and do mascara so you can have a final look. Traditionally, with the powder eyeshadow, you need to use multiple colors in order to create dimension. So I will go ahead and finish this look with 2 more shades so that you see the final eye makeup look. I find that this is just too plain, too flat, and it doesn't do much bringing attention and brightness to my eyes. So I will go on to use this peachy shade on the center of the eye to give it a little bit more dimension. To add a little bit more drama, I will make the edges now a little darker with the darkest shade from the set. I will apply it just to the eyelid outer edge. Sometimes I just do a little bit over and then go where the bone is. So always start right here at the edge and then disperse the color up to have a softer look. See if you can tell the difference between this eye and this eye. So now I'll do the same. And now I will use the lightest of colors right there, just on the corner of my eye, the inside corner, just to give it a little hint of fun. And shine, and I will softly disperse it with a bigger brush right underneath the eyebrow, just to give it a highlight. You can see that, how pretty that is. Now, see what you think. I'm not using eyeliners today, but I want you to see there's lots of dimension, lots of different colors that complete the look, that give it depth, interest, doesn't say, "Ooh, look at me, I am makeup." It says, "Oh, beautiful eyes, I see brightness, sparkliness." It's really pretty. Now, that took me 4 eyeshadows to accomplish. So now let's try to do something similar with only 1 eyeshadow and do the one and done. Okay, let's try the Charlotte Tilbury. First of all, the consistency is beautiful. This will truly be a one and done. That means that I'll be able to use 1 eyeshadow and create enough dimension to the eye and interest that I don't have to do anything else. It is the keystone of showing the difference between a creamy and luscious eyeshadow compared to a powdery one. All I'll do is grab a tiny little amount. It's literally like playing with foam. It is so soft, souffle like. I just love the consistency of this eyeshadow. I don't have to pull, I just have to tap. So I'm gonna try to get just a tiny little amount and start building from the same outer edge. And I'm just lightly tapping it and dispersing the color. You can see Oyster Pearl has this beautiful, it looks so light when you just put a tiny little amount, and iridescent and transparent. So you can see the first layer deepens the color a little bit, but you can see there's like a slight shimmer to it, almost a transparent gloss. So now I will build up on it. Still, I want a one and done, trying to soften as it goes into the outer edges. And now I like to put an extra batch right on the middle of the eyelid. Creamy eyeshadows will dry after application so that they stay and they don't crease. At least most of them do. Later in the week, you will see that some of them are too creamy or too oily, and they affect your eye and the wear a little differently. But it all depends too on your skin type and the area you're applying it to. Here I am again. Now I'm trying to be very generous with the amount that I'm going to put right in the middle, because that will give me the most shine. The eyelid before the crease gets thicker application, and then it dissolves into the eye on this side. Let me do the second eye now. I always do this to my eye application. I always redefine that edge so that I get a lifted eye look. We need all the help we can get for that lifting. And then reapply your concealer. Use your fingers to spread it, and always in that lifted. I'll put some mascara on next. I will also apply just a little bit at the lower lash line, just to give it a little more oomph. A one and done with a creamy eyeshadow. I am obsessed with them, just because I know I can get ready and out of the house in no time at all when I'm using just one shade of creamy eyeshadow all over my eyelid and put a little bit of mascara on, and you have a somewhat finished look. You can see the dimension of this kind of mascara because it has the glitter, and the formulation allows you to build up different layers of shine and silkiness and depth. It doesn't take much to get interest and make your eyes look like you put a lot of time into it for just once and done. You saw how easy that was. If you enjoyed this video and would like to follow on this journey of discovery with me, please subscribe and hit that bell button. And what that does is it will alert you next time I have a video. And my next few videos of this series should be coming out within the next few days. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you next time. Bye.